Her shift will be anything but routine. In a prison kitchen, 2 inmates execute a plan they have been designing for years. When Lois arrives for work, she's stationed in a watchtower with 21-year-old officer Jason Ott.
A buzz came over the intercom for the control panel, and I was like, well, who's that? Jason looked down and saw a uniform.
Jason assumes the uniformed man is a kitchen officer who routinely visits the tower.
I said, hey, who is it? He's like, I don't know. And this rumble came through my stomach, you know, that there's something wrong. It just did not feel right. I'm hearing somebody come up the staircase. I'm hearing this clink, clink, clink. And I'm like, well, that's an odd noise. Here's this guy that I'm thinking is an officer, pulls out this 30-inch industrial paddle that they use in the kitchen and rears it back.
Yes, sir, I don't know.
Excuse me, do you have
And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? What's going on with this officer? He's freaking out. I go after him like a football player. I've got blood running down my face, and he looks me dead in the eyes and tells me, you shouldn't have got complacent, bitch.
Turn over! Come here!
By this time I figured, okay, I don't think this is an officer. This has got to be an inmate.
The attacker is inmate Ricky Brewster Wasnauer, serving 28 years for robbery and assault. His cellmate is Stephen Pony Coy, serving a life sentence for robbery and rape. When Coy makes a break for the tower, officers try to stop him. Wassenauer finds and loads an assault rifle. Now 2 inmates control the tower and the hostages.
We gotta cover up these windows.
Wassenauer and Coy cover the windows so they cannot be seen.
Jason's beat up. He's got blood gushing from his face. And my main concern is him. I need to make sure he's okay. Try to get him out of here alive.
By 5:30 a.m., Lewis Prison is on lockdown. 4,000 inmates are confined to their cells. Snipers take positions on rooftops. Within an hour, the first attempt is made to contact the hostage takers.
Good morning.
It's the sergeant, and he asks Wassner, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Why don't you go ahead, just come on out. You know you're not gonna go anywhere. He tells the sergeant, why don't you get a negotiator in here?
When a crisis response team arrives on the scene, this is the setup. We have the tactical command center, where we have the negotiation commander, the bosses, all the decision makers. Then we have the negotiation setup. Here we have the primary negotiator who does all the talking. We have the coach, who's their partner. Then we have the scribe, who keeps a chronological log of all proceedings, and we have the float. Float's job is to do interviews and gather intelligence. Among the first negotiators to arrive are Ruben Montano, deputy ward with the Department of Corrections, and Kip Rustenberg, detective with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department. The first step, figuring out who they're dealing with and why.
Wassenaar, a very weird individual, really cocky. It was as if he was in his own world. He wasn't crazy, but he always wanted the upper hand. He's an individual that liked power.
There was documentation in there as far as his mental status, being a sociopath, and so we knew that we were dealing with a pretty hardcore guy.
Coy was more the follower. I don't remember him too much about doing anything other than following what others said for him to do. And in this case, there he is following Wassenaar.
But Wassenaar's escape isn't well planned. He's in the tower, but now he needs a way out.
Okay, I'm gonna make this very, very easy on you.
First of all, you can get us a chopper
And I want it landed
right into the yard.
His demands were outrageous. He talked about a helicopter, he talked about a vehicle. He kept saying the things he would want. An hour later, he would change again.
Well, why don't you just give
Give us a handcuff key.
How about that?
Handcuff key?
I know a couple people here that would really, really appreciate that.
I'm accidentally hitting the wall, and the wall is closing more and more on my handcuffs. So within time, my hand swells up to about twice its size.
The official response from command is to delay the request for the handcuff key. Wassenaar waits for a decision and heads up to the observation deck.
People are saying, well, why don't they shoot him? Why don't they shoot him?
First unit to command. I have the permanent sights right now.
Well, Wassner had made it very clear from the beginning that if one of the inmates were shot, the other one would shoot the hostage.
Hours pass, still no handcuff key.
I'm frustrated because, I'm thinking it's supposed to be like a movie. They're gonna come in, they're gonna blow the place up, I'm gonna walk out, Jason's gonna walk out, the inmates are gonna end up dead. Well, in the movies, it's only an hour. Reality, it isn't.
For Lois Fraley, the nightmare only gets worse. Wassenaar orders Coy to take Jason downstairs.
It's time to go. Oh my God! Come on.
This drop of emotion just came over me. And I knew what was going to happen.
After Wassenaar raped Lois, he tells Coy to take her downstairs.
I always knew that I could be raped. That's not the problem. You know, usually, I thought once you've been raped once, hopefully it doesn't happen again. You don't hear too many cases of multiple rape victims, or survivors, I like to call them. But, so now it's in my mind, how much more of this am I gonna have to take? And I'm like, Coy, you don't have to do this. Don't do this. And he's like, you wanna make it harder, or do you wanna just do it? So that's when I get sexually assaulted by inmate Coy.
For Lois, it's only day one of her ordeal. She's just hours away from what will be her one and only chance to escape.